Gourmand fragrances are fragrances that smell like food, basically. Usually dessert food, caramelly, sugary, sweet sort of notes. Usually caramel, sometimes maple syrup, honey, that sort of thing. This video is about gourmand fragrances. I personally am not a massive fan of super sweet fragrances. There are some that I do enjoy, but in general, sweet fragrances are very, very popular in the fragrance market at the moment. And a lot of people do enjoy them, especially women. And they're generally very acceptable, appreciated, attractive fragrances. I'm going to start with one that's pretty much universally liked by everyone, which is Vie Est Belle by Lancôme. This is an especially sweet yet powerful and long-lasting fragrance with very unique notes of black currant, some fruity notes, and then like candy bar, praline notes, kind of caramely, sugary, chocolatey, that sort of thing. Very light and playful. This could also be a very good option for teenagers. It's a very just bubbly sort of fragrance. And I do like that it's super long lasting. Sometimes these lighter, bubblier fragrances won't last that long, but this one really does. So very good, especially for just regular daytime use, casual outings, and that sort of thing. Then, if you want something a little bit with an oriental flair, you can choose The One by Dolce Gabbana. This is more of a fruity gourmand. And not your typical, it's not along the lines of caramely dessert things. It's more juicy, sweet fruits. Lots of fruit notes. I believe there's lychee as well. And it has a unique warmth to its undertones, which, to me at least, it makes it more attractive, more mysterious. It says on the card it's an oriental floral, but it has some very powerful gourmand notes as well. And I really like the longevity. I wouldn't say it's super long lasting, but it definitely has a presence. It has a body power to it, which of course is what you want from any fragrance. So The One by Dolce Gabbana, definitely a very good choice. More of an evening fragrance, but you can definitely, it's still good for the daytime. It won't be out of place during the daytime. Then, if you want something super sweet, as if you just dove into a bowl of sugar, you can opt for Black Opium by Yves Saint Laurent. This is kind of taking a turn into clubbing territory, party territory. This is definitely more sultry, super heavy, very long lasting, will last all night, all evening. And this is an intense gourmand. There's a coffee note thrown in there to kind of make it a bit more interesting. There's also orange blossom, cedarwood, and patchouli. So, those heavier notes definitely make it longer lasting and more unique compared to a lighter, more playful fragrance like La Vie Est Belle. So this is definitely more, not the mature side, but just, this is a party fragrance for the most part. But still luxurious, of course, from Yves Saint Laurent. It's a high quality fragrance, so it'll go a long way. Then, another one, which is very, very popular. This is Baccarat Rouge 540 from Maison Francisque Jean. And this is also a very, very interesting gourmand because, again, it's not really what you would expect. It's not like sugar, or it's not like caramel or honey. This is the top note is mainly saffron, which is a very nice warm spice, followed by some very interesting base notes of cedar and fir. Despite that, you would expect that's kind of a dry, spicy, herbal fragrance, but there's a very, very interesting cotton candy note that comes out of nowhere. And it's very interesting because you get that warm wash of the nice spicy saffron, and you get the warmer notes of the wood that grounds the fragrance. And this weird cotton candy note comes in, and it kind of lightens up, makes the fragrance fluffier, lighter and more interesting. It really makes you more aware of the layers that the fragrance has. It's also an extremely strong fragrance, definitely not your typical perfume. As soon as you put it on, it will just start spreading, filling the room. It is contagious in a way. You really don't need a lot. A little will go a very long way. It will last several hours, probably 8 to 9 hours. If you put too much on, you could easily give yourself a headache, so don't put too much on. And it's a very, very luxurious fragrance. As soon as you put it on, you can tell how high quality it is, how luxurious it is. And you'll often find it, you'll smell it probably in hotels and casinos and, these high class areas, because it is very, very popular among the luxury crowd. So definitely keep that in mind, because this is definitely a different breed of gourmand fragrances. Then the last one that I have is probably unknown to most people. This very small bottle, this is called Spark by Liz Claiborne. So this came out in the early 2000s, I believe. So I wouldn't even know about this fragrance if it wasn't sent to me by accident, because I originally ordered Used to by Estee Lauder, but I got this by accident. And this is a very, very interesting, the main note here is caramel, but it's a very warm, kind of sticky, smooth caramel. Very, very delicious. It also has some boozy notes, kind of like a rum whiskey sort of thing, with a little bit of cinnamon. It's a very unique, very delicious sort of fragrance. It's kind of hard to find other fragrances that are like this. And it's surprisingly strong. I remember once when I was using it, it easily lasted all day. Even towards the end of the day, of course, it had faded somewhat, but it was still very potent on the skin, and that's always a good sign. So this is the full bottle. This is not a sample, I believe. This is what you get when you order it. You also have to be careful because there's a men's version which is more popular than this one, which is the women's version. I haven't smelled the men's version. I imagine it's different than this because this is definitely a sweet feminine fragrance. So when you buy it, you have to make sure you get the right one. But definitely, if you're looking for something caramely, sweet, with a little bit of warm, kind of whiskey rum notes, this is a really good option. It reminds me a little bit of like Christmas for that reason, like a Christmas rum or Christmas punch or something like that. Anyway, that is my list for Gourmand fragrances. If you have any opinions about these fragrances, you can leave those down in the comments below. If you like the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.